As you work with Excel, you will either enter data yourself or be provided with raw data from varied systems. You will be asked to perform calculations to produce the desired result for yourself or management. Excel's text functions let you manipulate text in cells to extract portions of text to other cells, or combine them to produce full names or addresses. So on this worksheet, I have all of the different text functions that we'll be going over: left, right, mid, concatenate, upper, lower, and proper. In cell A1, I have my first name. In cell B1, I have my last name. So we'll take a look first at our left function. And what the left function does is it returns the first character or characters in a text string based on the number of characters that you specify. So I'll skip a row here and we'll put the example here. So here I have the syntax equals the name of the function, which is left, and you can see the arguments here are going to be the text that you want to use and then the number of characters. So if I wanted to take the first two characters from my first name, I can select cell A1 to indicate that, comma to move to my second argument, and then indicate how many characters I want to extract from that text. So if I wanted to extract the first two, so your left function, it starts at the very left, the beginning of the text here. So it starts with E. So for this function, it's going to return ER. Another example, if I had equals left, my last name, we'll do B1, comma to move to the second argument, and if I wanted the first four, so that should return GROF. Another example, equals left. Maybe I actually had the text inside of the function. Remember, when you're using text inside of a function argument, you need to indicate that by double quotation marks. So maybe we had the text of, let's say, Jessica. Inside double quotes, move to the second argument and indicate number of characters. We'll do 4, ending parentheses. So you can see this takes the first 4 characters, JESS. Right, so that is your left function. Now our right function, same idea, except you're extracting the characters starting from the rightmost position. And then you, again, indicate how many characters you want to take out. So if I had equals, the syntax is using the function name of right. Again, your first argument is going to be your text and then your number of characters. So here I have, we'll do my first name, move to the second argument. So it starts at the right of the text and extracts that amount of characters. So we have NIR, except it's going to stay in order there. So RIN I have there. Equals, oops, right. You can do that for my last name. Move to the number of characters. Here I have 3. That's going to return OFF. Equals right. Again, you can input your text in there. We'll do 5 characters. So it starts at the rightmost of here, counts down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have our mid function. And this returns the characters from the middle of a text string, starting at the position that you specify and based on the number of characters that you specify. So the syntax here is equals mid. the text that you want to use. We'll start with content in A1. Then you want to indicate your start number. So if I wanted to start counting from the letter R, I would put the position that it's in. This is character number 2. And then the number of characters I want to return. And we'll do 2 from here as well. So that's going to return R and I. Starts at the second position, returns 2 characters RI. So again, equals mid. We'll do my last name. We'll start at the 4th position, which is the first letter F, and we'll return 1 character. It's only going to return that 4th letter F. And then for, again, text that you enter here, double quotation marks. We'll start at the 6th position, and we'll return 2 characters. So it starts at the C, returns the 2 characters CA. Then we have our concatenate function. Now the name of this is much more intimidating than the function actually does. And this enables you to concatenate, which means to join together different text strings from multiple cells into a single cell. So let's say I have my first name and my last name in 2 individual cells, and I wanted to input them into 1 single cells. I could use this. Concatenate my first text string, which is what I want my first name, so A2, and then my second, which is B1 argument. Now, take note when I enter this. Oops, what happened here? Oh, I selected the wrong cell here. I must have hit D10. I want this to be A1 and then B1. It strings them together but does not indicate a space in between them. You have to automatically do that. So you would have to do equals concatenate the first text string, move to the second argument, do your open parentheses, hit a space, closing parentheses, move to the third argument, and then I could do the second text string, closing parentheses. You can see I get my space in between my individual text strings there. And again, you could also do that entering text as well. Or maybe I wanted to do my first name, comma, last name. I could do equals concatenate. Select my last name. Move to the second argument. Open parentheses. I could do comma, space, closing parentheses, a comma to move to the next argument, and then my first name. Now you might be asking, isn't it just easier to type the name in that way? Well, sure, when you have one name, but let's say you have hundreds and hundreds of customers in your database, and you want to automatically write them, have them typed out in this format, you could do the very first employee and then autofill it down. So you wouldn't have to individually retype every single customer there. All right, then we have our upper function, and all this does is it converts a text string to all uppercase letters. So if I had equals upper, take my first name here, you can see it returns in all uppercase. Last name, all uppercase. Oops. Equals upper. Could do random text, Jessica, all uppercase. And then the opposite for lower, equals lower. Select my text, brings it all lowercase. Last name, all lowercase. And you can also enter text in there as well in your double quotation marks. All lowercase. And then for your proper command, it's going to capitalize the first letter, and then all subsequent letters will be lowercase for that. So if I had something, bar PC equals proper, choose your text. And that did not work. What happened? I have an underscore there. There we go. So equals cell B14. You capitalize just that first letter. And again, you can enter the text in double quotation marks as well. So if I had a lowercase all Jessica, would return that with the top capitalized.